We had a major issue on the production line earlier this week, so the entire development package for this weekend has failed. Check your workstation for the details.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the Belgian Grand Prix, round number 12 of the season, I believe, if my numbers are correct. And today we are here, and unfortunately our first of 2 engine upgrades has failed. We have another one scheduled for Monza, which is a major upgrade. This one was a minor one, and unfortunately has failed on us. But first of all guys, if you have not checked the last episode out at Hungary, an absolutely insane race, probably my best one so far in this career mode by a mile, and it's rather my best races ever. Do check it out guys, the Hungarian Grand Prix, absolute cracker, in the top right hand corner of your screen, also in the link down below in the description. Now we jump to Spa, and we are here for practice yet again, but first of all you can see the R&D tree and how the upgrades have progressed. Force India bringing a massive upgrade to this circuit, and really taking a massive step towards Ferrari. Also Williams as well, the biggest gainers into this race weekend, and quite a few surprises there, but all in all it's going to make for an exciting weekend. Force India bringing upgrades when it matters around circuits that they know they're going to be very strong at, and this is going to be one where Force India are going to be a massive threat for sure. We've got our work cut out this weekend to try and do our best, because we hope for a little bit of a power upgrade. Unfortunately it failed, so we're stuck with the car that we had, and we're just sort of banking on the fact that we can get the job done based off a little bit of setup work and hoping that I could just pour through and get a result. Also for Pierre Gasly, I'm hoping he can also get a good result as well to really try and boost us up in the Constructors' Championship, because this season Pierre's definitely not been as good as last year. Last year he was really pushing me to the edge. This year he's not been as good this year, but I'm not complaining. I'm beating my teammate quite convincingly, and in Friday practice we got underway in the practice programs and the car felt great. I had a very good setup on. I think I was running 3.6 on the wings and 7 on the ballast towards the rear, and overall just felt really confident. The car felt great on track, hitting some very good lap times, and all in all I had a lot of reason to be confident. In the last race in Hungary we actually started from the back because we took an engine penalty. The bad news is I had a feeling when I did it at the time that I might have messed it up, because for some reason when I did the pre-race screen it said I had no penalty, and that turned out to be true. Turns out for some reason, even though I purchased an engine, it didn't register, so essentially I never actually took a new engine at Hungary, and it turns out I actually have to use the engine. I can't just buy and go back to an old unit, because I basically bought power unit 4 and then went back to using number 2. I actually have to use that engine, so we basically started from the back for no reason at Hungary, and for this race weekend unfortunately we're going to have to do the same again. So after practice I went into the R&D screen and I bought the 4th engine. This time though we are going to use the engine for this power circuit, so essentially we're going to have a new engine in the back of the car for this race, and also it'll be still really new for Monza as well, so hopefully we'll be competitive in those races. And as you can see, we're just buying the components here and getting up to speed, and hopefully we can have that extra performance. It's going to mean we're going to start from the back here today, but it's a track that I feel confident with, and especially because it's such a heavy power circuit and Monza as well, it's important that we get this, because it might be the only engine penalty we take all season long, and I think now is a good time to take the penalties. As you can see, we've bought all the new parts and we're getting them on the car, and for the race we're going to basically go flat out and really test this new engine out and see what the performance is really like in this car, and hopefully we can have a good race. So with that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for the Belgian Grand Prix, and let's have a good race.
Who doesn't love the Belgian Grand Prix? It's the race, of course, that gave maiden pole positions to the Jordan and Force India teams, with Rubens Barrichello and Giancarlo Fisichella respectively. Jordan, of course, would then go on to better that here in 1998 with their first ever victory. And you can guarantee that something special will always happen at Spa-Francorchamps. But what that something is today is anybody's guess. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ocon, Raikkonen, Sergio Perez and Bottas, Ricciardo, Gasly, Magnussen and Charles Leclerc, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Romain Grosjean and Alonso, Stroll, Sirotkin, Marcus Ericsson and Max Verstappen, Van Dorn and Martinez. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, here we are on the grid then for the Belgian Grand Prix. We start from last place, and unlike the last race where we pretty much messed it up and handicapped ourselves massively, this time we do have an engine penalty and we're going to use the fresh engine for this race because that was my intention anyway. So we're going to jump into it here. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to try and do our absolute best, and I think we can do well here. I think I've got a good car underneath me. I'd even say a great car underneath me, and I've got a lot of confidence to try and attack the racetrack, especially sectors 1 and 3. I am so fast on the straights, at least I was based off of practice. So sector 2 is going to be the one we might have to do some managing, but all in all, strategy wise, we're going to go for the one stop here today, and we're also going to go on the slowest tire, which is not something I do too often. I normally start on the intermediate of the 3, the middle tire. This time I'm starting on the slowest, which is the medium, and then we're going to transition to the soft later on. So we're going to have a much more aggressive race pace towards the end of the Grand Prix, because I want to make sure when the weather conditions go to a bit more sunny towards the end and the track temperature goes up, we have maximum pace. And also fuel wise, I'm 1.5 laps over the race target, so hopefully we can be nice and aggressive with it. I'm going to try and save my fuel for later on in the race. If not, I'll use it all now in this first, depending on how my pace goes basically. And we're just going to try our best. I genuinely think we can get a top 5 in this race if we do everything perfect. Strategy is perfect and our pace is very strong. So with that being said, let's jump into it. I'm looking forward to it. It's my favourite race on the calendar. It's time for the Belgian Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here for the Belgian Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. A little bit of wall spin in the second phase in third gear there as we go into turn 1. We're going to pick up the inside lines, a bit of debris everywhere. Got to be careful to not run over that or get a puncture. Up the inside at turn 1. Max Verstappen picks up the traction. We're going to close off the door here on Van Dorn, not allow him to get through. Hopefully the hot lap ERS does enough to keep me in front of him, which it does. As we now go through a ridge for the first time, a very heavy car, can feel it already here. Understeer kicking in. We're now picking up the toe. This is what I meant about my straight line speed. We are quick. We're picking up a whopping toe here on multiple cars. On the brakes up the inside of Sirotkin. Oh my god, it's so close. Sirotkin and Asaba, they're going side by side. We go around the outside of both of them. We get squeezed and I have to get out of it. Lots of contact, bit of a scruffy one, but you've got to get the elbows out. Oh, lock up. No grip on these mediums. Sirotkin goes around the outside and does a good job of staying ahead of me there. Ericsson has to yield. I've got a hell of a lot of understeer on these tyres at the moment. We're going to be on the back foot at least for the first and maybe second lap until we really get these tyres in the temperature window. Let's try and stay with Sirotkin and maybe get a run on him on the back straight if we can. There we go. We've managed to stay within slipstream range pretty much. One in rich mix and overtake to try and gain. We're starting to pull him in into Blanchimont. Look at the speed. We've got the run on Sirotkin here. We're going to have to go to the outside line. What we like on the brakes, not too bad. We're going to use the fact that Alonso's slowed down Sirotkin to get the move done. Hulkenberg is P13 there, holding these guys up a bit. Alonso should be fairly easy pickings in that McLaren. Let's just get turn 1 sorted out, and then we can try and go for the move after that. On the power nice and early. Rich mix again. This is what I meant by I have to use it depending on my pace. We need rich mix right now, and every bit of engine power we have to try and get past these guys. A little bit of a lift for a Rouge there. I just didn't feel confident though in the back end of my car. Now we're going to get the mega slipstream here on 3 cars. Hulkenberg is getting flanked by Stroll and Alonso here. Alonso doesn't quite commit, so I will. Up the inside of Nando. Alonso giving me next to no room whatsoever. And we have to yield. Stroll's made the move on Hulkenberg, who Hulkenberg, by the way, really struggling here. Alonso goes around his outside. We're going to try and do the same. Doesn't quite work. We switch back underneath though. Hulkenberg gets a poor exit. A little bit of contact. Hulkenberg might have a car problem. And we get past him. Let's chase after Alonso here and try and get past the McLaren driver as well. What a crazy start to this race. Spa always delivers fireworks. Right then, DRS enabled. This is what we came for, ladies and gentlemen. Now is when the slipstream is going to get absolutely intense. Out of turn 1, rich mix and hot lap ERS engaged. Maximum engine modes yet again here. The fact that it's Alonso trying to pass Stroll, not the other way around, it gives me a chance of getting past both of the guys. If it was Stroll getting past Alonso, he breezed past, but because that McLaren's not great in a straight, it's going to make it better for me. Although I've got to say that McLaren's doing well for straight line speed at the moment. Purple first sector though. Oh, Stroll gets the line a bit wrong through there. Getting a bit hot in the Williams. Alonso's really putting the pressure on him at the moment. Also, these tyres are now nasty up to temperature. I can definitely lean on these quite a bit now. We're going to have a run on these guys on the back straight here, I think. Stroll's going to be pretty vulnerable. We're both closer to him than we've ever been. Alonso's looking for it. He's going to commit to the move. I'm going to have to back out 3 wide. It's not something I'm interested in. Oh my god. There we go. Stroll had to get out of it. Contact. Oh my god. Oh, we have to double lock the front. Jeez Louise. On the power. There we go. We've edged out Lance Stroll. I held my breath so much there. I was so scared for my life for a second there. That could have been horrific. Right, personal best on the power early on. Keeping it in hot lap mode. Let's try and get past Alonso and make light work of him, and that way we can get some clean air. And also try and break the slipstream as well if possible. Oof. Back end still very loose in these medium tyres. But here we go. We're coming like an absolute freight train. And we are going to power past the McLaren. Look at that. Light work. And we're now at P13. Now let's try and set the pace in some clean air. Let's see if we have anything in the tank to try and pull away. And try and catch up to the next pack of 3 cars. And that'll be for the top 10. Oh, we've got a yellow flag behind. Something's happened. I think it's Alonso. Yeah, Fernando Alonso had a problem, I think. He's slowing down. I think he might be out of the race. That's unfortunate for him. The Spaniard out of the race after a great start in the McLaren against, around the track. It doesn't suit their car. That McLaren is not improving that much. And he is out. Confirmation. As we set a personal best, 46 dead. Although that lap did have a track extend at Pitlane included in it. So that lap will not count. We have to do that again. We're catching up to this pack now. We've got Leclerc here battling away. All these guys are on soft tyres. We're on the mediums. Remember that. I'm currently leaving it in standard and medium ERS to try and save, fuel and also battery power. So when we do come up to these guys to make the overtakes, we have maximum power at our disposal. Right now I'm happy though. Race pace looks good, and you can see the big boys just in front going through Les Combes, through Malmedy and down into Rivage. So they're not that far ahead. We're still in the race. There's a bit of debris there. It jumps off one of the cars. Leclerc and Sainz absolutely going for it. It's a fierce battle between these two. And look at this, how much we've gained on them. Let's try and set up a pass if we can sometime soon. We are right on the back of Sainz now. That Renault is getting a massive tow from the Sauber all the way. And it's not enabling me to get close enough, so we have to sit behind for now. I think it's Sainz though who has the front wing damage. I can't tell, I need to confirm it. By the way, that was a massive tow Sainz got, which I was getting ×2, but I was on the limiter, so I really couldn't benefit from it. Hopefully now though we can try and get the 2-for-1 pass. Again, we're going to run rich mix and overtake ERS. We're going to really close up this gap. I was in standard and medium when I was behind Sainz last time. This time we are running maximum engine beans here. Look at this, look at the difference this time around. We're running full engine power. We fly past the Renault.
Some information on Stroll. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Look at that, up the inside of Leclerc as well, the 2-for-1. Beautiful, perfectly executed. And we're now 11th. Great stuff there. The amount of straight line speed, I didn't even see the KPH, but I wonder how much that was. I have to watch that back in the edit. But that was an incredible amount of speed there we carried. And we've got the job done. P11 now. Up next is Romain Grosjean. Let's hunt these guys down. Right, we've got the first car in the pit lane, Valtteri Bottas in there. We set a 45.9, which is by far my best lap at the Grand Prix, even better than that 46.0, which was invalidated. So pace is strong at the moment, and we're now inside the top 10 into the points. Bottas is on a 2-stop, from what I can tell, unless he goes into the mediums. So you never know. We are nearing that 1-stop window though, so I'm a little bit concerned. If the big boys do go for the 1-stoppers, we might have to stretch this stint out to try and run some super softs at the end. I'm not sure. I'll have to weigh up the options and see what their pace is like on a fresh medium. Right, more cars in the pit lane, quite a few this time, including my teammate, Pierre Gasly. This will give us a bit more of an indication as to what tyre the big boys go on.
Pierre is in for his stop.
Right, I saw some medium tyres there, so looks like the big boys are going for the 1-stopper, so we're going to have to do it on pace today. I'm kind of hoping they get caught up in a bit of traffic. That's my goal. Perez looks like he's rejoined just behind Leclerc, so he's going to have a supreme amount of clean air. And he looks on course to win this race so far. There's a Ferrari that I think might be ahead of him either way. We're P4 now. I've still got plenty of laps left in these tyres. And in terms of wear, they're looking pretty good. 22 on the rears, that's absolutely fine. So let's keep it going. We've got a yellow flag. And it's a Red Bull that's gone for a spin or something at Pitlane. I can't tell. Sorry, at Legcom. And I think there's a Mercedes or a Williams involved. I can't tell by the colour of the dot. But there's a Red Bull in trouble there. I guess I'll confirm in a moment if it is a retirement. But either way, that's good news for me. Someone that was potentially in front of me is now behind me. And that's a position gained. And it's Ricciardo
some
again.
Information on Ricciardo. They've got a serious car issue. It
Wow.
looks like they're retiring.
A third race in a row. Ricciardo's out. And that's probably going to mean I'll win the rivalry. But I mean, damn, man. That's even worse than real life. 3 races in a row, Ricciardo's retired. That is extremely unfortunate. Either way, get a head back screwed on straight. We need to continue on here. Currently P4, about to be P2, as we've got a few more cars in the pit lane. Ocon and Sebastian Vettel. Right, another personal best there. We really found some pace. That was without DRS. So these tyres are still going strong. We are getting caught up by Sebastian though, who's dragging Perez along. Ideally, this is not what I want because we're going to lose time battling. So I need to make sure my pace stays strong and we try and stay ahead if we can. I don't think I'm going to have DRS on Grosjean, unfortunately, on this straight. So we're going to have to sit behind him a bit longer. But right now, I'm just focused on staying ahead. If I can stay ahead of Vettel and Perez and come into the pit lane in the lead, that'd be great news for me. Right, we've now got with him Grosjean's DRS, who comes in, so he's going to release me to some clean air. Thank you very much. And we're now going to go into lap 11, half race distance with another personal best. Pace still very strong. It's a bit wide to turn 1, I've got to admit. Just avoid the lock-up and focus on the exit. That way we don't lose time. I've got to try and stay ahead of Vettel and Perez now. The longer I go on these tyres while staying in front, the more I consider the super soft tyre for later on. So we need to keep our options open. The super soft is tempting me the more we go into this race. If I look at the tyre wear, that's manageable, so we shall see. The encouraging sign as well is that none of the guys behind me are setting fast laps to the Grand Prix, and it's not like I'm holding them up, so this is good news and it's very encouraging so far. I'm going to stay out here until I feel like the tyres give up. So far they still feel great. I was only a 10th off that time round on my personal best, so we're still running at a strong pace, and I'm also, I think I'm still just out of DRS, and if not then it's bloody close. Especially if they start battling like that, it's going to help me out as well. So right, I was scheduled to come in that lap. We're going to stay out for one more. I reckon I can do the super soft. I reckon I can pull it off. A personal best of 45.4. And now finally we see some lap times as Perez pops in the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So now we're getting an idea of what the AR's true race pace is. But for now, we're staying strong here and we're doing the job. I'm going to keep on going. Rich mix and overtaking gauge. I'm running full engine power. I'm going to defend against Perez. I'm not going to let him fly past unless he's got an absolutely ridiculous amount of straight line speed on me. In that case, I can't do much about it. We're going to cover off the inside. Here he comes. He's gaining on me. Not by much though. I'm going to show him the outside. He can go the long way around, which he cannot commit to. And we hold on for a bit longer here. Okay, we managed to defend there. Perez didn't quite commit to it. We stay ahead. I'm going to come in this lap. Lap 14. We've managed to make the mammoth stint pay off. We're going to stay in rich mix this lap. I'm trying to save a little bit of battery if I can for the run up Eau Rouge. Get the exit. Focus on the exit only. There we go. Right, this is our lap. Let's make it count. Right, Perez and Vettel went for a battle this lap. They're now back outside of a second. This is what I'm saying, is the gamble's paid off. Hopefully we can come out in some clean air. That'd be ideal. We'll not get held up by any slower cars like a Sabre or something. But here we go into none for the ERS. We're going to come in this lap. Let's attack this bus stop chicane a bit differently this time. Into the pit lane. We can't win this race, but I'm going to give it a pretty good go to try and finish as best as I can. There we go. Pit entry, phenomenal. One of the best ones I've ever had. We're going to drop out of the top 6, it seems. I think it's going to be close with Pierre Gasly, who's going through the bus stop now, my teammate. If we can jump him, that would be crazy. 2.3, there we go. Right, this is going to be close with Pierre, I think. Very close. Up to speed, come on. Out the exit. On the power, there goes Pierre. Right, we're behind our teammate, but that's fine. What a recovery that is. Grosjean's behind me, and he was ahead of me before the pit stop, so we've managed to come out ahead of him. Massive turnaround, and we are now right in this race. We've still got plenty of laps left. If we can switch this tyre on and keep it alive, you never know, this could be a big one for us. I'm going to try and save some ERS this lap, so I'm going to use the rich mix up. Right then, let's get past Pierre. I've got the pace already, even with low ERS modes. I'm just running rich mix here. We're going to go up to medium to get this pass done and rely on the rich mix. It's going to be a long slipstream this. We'll get him after Blanchimont into the brake zone. Hopefully we'll nab the DRS, that'd be nice. Here we go. We're gaining on Pierre. We're going to wait. Up the inside, go deep, squeeze him out, make the move, job done, and we have DRS. Phenomenal. And now we've saved up our ERS, so I'm going to burn off this excess fuel and then we'll start consuming the ERS. The car feels so damn good on these tyres. I am flying and I'm on rails at the moment. This is like qualifying for me, which I never actually did, so I'm loving this. Looking at the mini-map, the top 5 are not that far apart. You never know. A 43.4. Ridiculous lap times. You never know. We could do something here. Let's keep going. We've got a little bit of rich mix left over, just enough for the run up down to the Kemmel Straight. So let's make use of it. Right then, look at that. The Force Indians are really putting the pressure on Sebastian here. Meanwhile, speaking of pressure, we are starting to really catch Lewis. I don't think I'm going to have DRS, unfortunately, on this first straight, but I should be on the back of him by the end of this lap. Right then, here we go. On the back of Lewis. Patience required. I'm not going to consume any ERS or DRS or rich mix, nothing at all. We're just going to get up the slipstream here. It's a patient game. I've got a chance of saving some ERS for later on, so I'm going to go into none and also lead mix. Good chance to save for later on. Playing the long game here because I feel like those Force Indians and Ferraris might have a scrap. I think that battle could be tasty, so I'm just going to rely on slipstream here. I'll get Lewis on the Kemmel Straight this lap. That's what I'll do. Right, turn 1. Let's get that all sorted out. Beautiful. There we go. On the power. Now I'll engage with some hot lap. Make sure we stay within DRS into overtake. Carry the speed through a rouge. Nice and smooth. No corrections this time. And now we're going to start bringing him in with the DRS. He's done a good job of pulling out the gap, but it's not going to be enough. We're gaining on him. Up the inside. It's a late braking move to avoid him going side by side with me. And we're now P5. What an incredible recovery drive this is. And we ain't done yet. You never know. There's still a couple laps left. The gap has pretty much stabilised now to keep me in front. I'm kind of relying on the front runners to keep on battling, which they are. And Kimi joins in and makes it a 4-way scrap. 2 laps to go next time we cross the line. I think we ain't got enough laps left, unfortunately. But I will still take this P5. Here we go through Blanchimont the final time. Still giving it everything and using up all my engine modes, but ultimately it's not going to be enough. I'm not going to complain though. P5 after starting from P20 is an incredible achievement, and I will take that every day of the week. What a race that was. Jeez man, I'm so tired after that, but what an incredible race. Really enjoyed that one. We go again at Monza. Hopefully this time we can qualify with no issues. Right, so looking at the final race results, Sergio Perez wins the Belgian Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Esteban Ocon. Raikkonen in P4, making it a Force India Ferrari, pretty much top 4, with myself in P5. Incredible fight back from P20 on the grid, and Lewis Hamilton P6. We managed to beat him, and also we managed to beat Pierre Gasly, who for once actually scored a pretty decent result for the team. And he definitely found his feet a lot more around this particular racetrack. Romain Grosjean, 8th place ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and Kevin Magnussen rounding out the top 10. Leclerc and Verstappen just missing out on the points, and further down the order, Alonso and Ricciardo retiring from the Grand Prix. In terms of the driver standings, as you can see, Vettel leads by 16 points over Perez, who's won the last 2 races, and we maintain our 3rd place, 1 point ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, and we're still in the fight, but we need to start. I mean, I have to win a race. There's no other way of saying it. I haven't won a race yet in this entire grid mode. I've got countless 2nd places and 3rd places, but I can't win a bloody race. And there's a 7-point difference between 1st and 2nd, so we need to win a race. Pierre Gasly, meanwhile, he does get himself up into P12, overtaking Hulkenberg and equal on points with Sainz. And in terms of the constructors, Ferrari obviously still the standout leaders. Force India cut down the gap a little bit, inside 80 points. And we jump up into 3rd place, overtaking Red Bull that race. So great news for us. And Mercedes also did the same, overtaking the bigger team. And we are now in 3rd place in the constructors, which is great news. And that might raise some eyebrows over in the Red Bull Racing camp. And hopefully they notice what's going on. But all in all, hopefully enjoy the episode, guys. And we're now going to move into the laptop for some upgrades.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. Things looked close between you and your rival for a bit, but you came out on top, didn't you? Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? Great. Well, that's everything.
Right, so here we are on the R&D screen. Now, logically, we're going to purchase, first of all, the upgrade that failed for this race for the ERS. Hopefully, for the next race, we should have a double engine upgrade, which is going to really help us out. However, to compensate, durability is a must, and the MGUK needs work. That's going to be one of the most important ones, and I could probably just afford one more. So let me check to see what we have, because I'm going to try and go for something else. I'm going to look at Power Unit 2 to see IC 55, MGUK 59, 49 on the MGUH, 46 Energy Store, 47 Turbocharge, and 51. Okay, I want to go Control Electronics again. Reason being is because, like I mentioned before, you know, the less worn that part is, the less the others do. So we're going to max out the Control Electronics. So for the next race, we've got 4 upgrades on the way. Hopefully it pays off. As you can see there, obviously only 2 of them are performance related, the others are reliability related. We need to try and make sure we get these power units to the end of the season now, because I don't want to exploit the system, so I want to make sure that I use no more than the engines that we have right now and try and get them to the end unless we really have to get a penalty. But all in all, it's been a very good race here at Spa, and we hit our target of finishing 6th or better, so we've got 600 points which we put to good use here today. We're just basically, as it says there, awaiting the rewards, so I'm guessing we'll probably get that in the next race or something. I'm not really sure. Either way, it's been a great episode, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do drop a like. Also, do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content, and also finally check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode very soon. Goodbye.